I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and I extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. Whilst preparing for this speech, I was given an opportunity to reflect on my experience studying and now working in the law, and that wasn't an uncomplicated task. My relationship with the law and with the legal industry has been since I first sat down in Foundations of Law with minimal understanding of legal doctrine beyond a vague recollection of the more lurid facts in Donoghue and Stevenson, an ambivalent and a complex one. In many ways, the law seemed then, and has seemed to me since, awesome in the most literal sense of the word. To study law is to learn an esoteric, exciting new language, to grapple with and to learn how to shape and analyse such highfalutin concepts as justice, reasonableness, morality, truthfulness, and integrity. At Monash, I was taught to be open-minded and forensic in my thinking, to be creative and not mechanical in my application of legal principles. I learned that the law is expected to perform an impossible task, in that it is asked, as Melbourne writer Helen Garner once put it, to deal with something that nothing can truly deal with, the wildness of people. It is asked to be an arbiter of truth when, more often than not, no one simple truth exists. It is asked to construct and then to present a stable narrative from a whirling maelstrom of conflicting stories. It is asked to come up with universal principles capable of doggedly withstanding the test of time, a Herculean ask in a world that is constantly evolving. It is asked to have an eye to the past, but also to consider the future. I'm still amazed and daunted by the brilliant ways in which the law has faced up to some of society's most intricate and bedeviling problems, through time-honoured doctrines like the separation of powers or the cab-rank principle or the presumption of innocence, which, though invariably flawed, continue to give the profession of law a claim to nobility. But equally, I've also come to acknowledge the many ways in which the law, and indeed the industry more broadly, has failed to live up to or embody the principles of justice it espouses. In those early Foundations of Law classes, alongside learning about the doctrine of precedent, I also learned that I was the only student in my class who was not privately educated. Between 1987 and 2022, 80% of the High Court's justices attended private schools. Whilst there was growing commitment to gender diversity amongst firm partnerships and at the bar, with women now representing 1 in 3 junior counsel, non-white women are hugely underrepresented. It is still a rarity that I see a woman with a surname like mine giving her appearance in court. And despite best efforts, the industry is still nepotistic. Clerkship season still revolves around networking nights and coffee catch-ups. The law is a human invention. Its exercise is susceptible to human bias. It can and has been used to entrench or reinforce existing disadvantage or historical injustice. The noble aspirations of the law that I described previously might not seem very convincing to a First Nations person. And as much as I have loved learning and applying Latin phrases and equitable maxims, I also understand that these kinds of legalisms make the law utterly inaccessible to the people it professes to protect. I truly believe that for as long as law students and lawyers continue to reflect the upper echelons of Australian society only, there will continue to be injustices to which the law and the profession are impervious or indifferent, or which we can't see clearly. I've loved being a law student, and I'm excited and proud to be a lawyer. I hope that over the course of my career, I can contribute to a profession that is increasingly egalitarian and progressive, that is humble enough to recognise its own defects and commit to addressing them, and which doesn't lose sight of the humanitarian instincts at the heart of its doctrines. I hope too that the profession can become more expansive, that the path that I have been lucky enough to follow is made truly accessible to as many people as possible, and that the industry is seen as an inclusive place, and not, to adopt the parlance of Dickens in Bleak House, as the self-interested monstrous maze the laity are apt to think it. I've been lucky enough to have had many brilliant role models, both within the legal industry and outside of it, throughout 5 years of study. I extend my thanks in particular to Kylie Weston Schreiber, who embodied for me an ethical, kind, and balanced method of practicing law, and also to Nick Kauchik, who taught me that the correct formatting of Word documents is actually very important as a solicitor. To the friends I made at law school who continually bring me so much joy, and especially to Amy Hale, who is here tonight. Thank you for all of the conversations and for nerding out with me about quizclose trusts and the Baden scale of knowledge. I'm immeasurably grateful for all of the teachers who supported me, both at Eltham High School and at university. Thank you in particular to my friend and mentor, Lee McQueen, who is here tonight, for teaching me extremely cool vocabulary, and to quote the fountain of wisdom that is Taylor Swift, for being on my side even when I was wrong. Thank you most of all to my family, to my brothers Manu and Rudy, to my dad Sarith for his intellectual curiosity, and most importantly of all, to my mum, Jo, my best friend in the whole world, for having my back always. Thank you.